There was a lot of excitement and buzz around going co-ed.
Hey, this was a huge, huge opportunity to be part of something that changed history.
Anybody who wants a Jesuit education should have the opportunity to get one.
It was a way for SI to explore new avenues of academics and sports.
But I do believe, as I've always said, that coeducation made a very good school even better.
It was Mark Twain who wrote, "20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. Explore, dream, discover." And in June of 1985, at the end of the school year debriefing meeting, the St. Ignatius Principal's administrative staff did just that, when the first serious discussion of coeducation at SI arose.
If this is a distinct possibility, we should be more proactive and plan for it. It was my responsibility or my charge to go to Father Carlin in July, a month later, to present the case to him. And I'll always remember going into his office there on the first floor of McGuckin, making the case. He looked at me and he said, "You know, I think that's a good idea. Let's take a look at that." To offer a Jesuit secondary college preparatory education as an option for young women in the San Francisco Bay Area made more and more sense as we went along.
I think so much preparation went into it. Father Prieto and Dr. Levet were most meticulous in working through all our constituencies, but the Society of Jesus actually made formal final decisions. It was advisorial.
And so the steps that we took, we formed a transition team, including Donna Murphy and people like Phyllis Molinelli, the other administrators.
The task force was really the exploratory group. We met privately and secretively for, I'm going to say, at least 8 to 10 months before we became public that we were starting this search.
The beauty of doing this was that we took it 1 year at a time. If we had gone 4 years co-ed all at once, we would not have been prepared for that. But to take one class at a time and build on that allowed us the time to really be thoughtful in the process. I think we enrolled a very bold class.
Only 4 years after the principal's debriefing meeting in 1985, SI was opening its doors to women students for the first time in the school's 134-year history.
It was a big deal in the history of San Francisco to have girls walk through the hallways as students at SI.
It was nerve-wracking. It was so nerve-wracking. You just tried to get to class really quick.
And just being, outnumbered 7-1, walking the halls, it was odd. The call was to be the right representation for this first co-ed class, to make sure that SI realized, and Father Prieto, that they had done the right thing. There were years and years before you of people who had set a standard, and we owed it to those people to uphold the standards. But as part of the pioneering class, we also owed it to SI to help drive them and lead them into a new beginning. What it achieved was more discussion, more debate, and a broadened perspective.
We were blessed with our pioneer class of '93 with some really talented young ladies. God was good to us.
My father went here and 2 of my uncles went here, and I was in the first class of girls. So now I was just really excited to be able to say, oh, I know what the Bruce Mahoney is, or I know what Block Club is, or I know what Service Club is. So things that he had talked about with great fondness, I actually kind of got.
And the Block Club really was the last all-male organization at SI. And when I found out that I had been accepted, I can't tell you how proud I was. By me putting on the Block Club sweater, I had, in that moment, set the course for the future and what was to come.
It had gone very far in just a relatively few years, to the point where I don't think now of girls' athletics as girls' athletics. I did initially. Let's go see the girls play. Now let's go see the women's basketball team play because they're pretty darn good.
We have a female president this year, had one last year. It's really the best person for the job now.
It's a warmer place, it's livelier. We're also larger because of coeducation. We went from about 1,100 students to now over 1,400 students. There's just a lot more going on, and a lot more going on, I would say, especially in terms of arts, performing arts. It's really kind of amazing. You go to the Christmas concert. It's an enormous number of kids who are performing. How we live out our mission as a Jesuit school, how we attend to social justice, and how we attend to people who have needs in this world is much more a piece of awareness here at SI today.
Not only was SI evolving on the student side, but a shift was occurring on the faculty and administrative side as well. In recent years, and historically at SI, the school had only a handful of women employees. Now its ranks were growing.
So you had a parallel change and more women teachers coming in and leadership roles. That was exciting and very important that the girls had the role models. Well, here we flash forward 20 years. My boss in the math department is a woman.
The immediate success of coeducation had longtime SI faculty member J.B. Murphy conflicted. Although he admired the tradition of SI as an all-boys school, his granddaughter Marielle was a part of SI's pioneer class of women. J.B.'s son Chuck Murphy explains.
J.B. came to coeducation reluctantly. He was 50 years in the school as a teacher. He started teaching in September of 1939 when Hitler invaded Poland, and he retired in 1989 when the girls invaded the halls of SI. Well, then he saw Marielle and her experience in the school. By the end of the first year, J.B. had decided that coeducation was his idea.
When I stepped into the halls of SI, I realized that I can't let this intimidate me or else it will eat me up. And I have that same approach to my professional life.
SI is where I learned how to succeed, how to achieve, how to lead, how to rise above. And what I feel SI's done for me, which has set the course for my life, it gave me self-reliance, self-sufficiency, self-esteem. SI was probably the most challenging part of my life. And I came through it with flying colors.
SI is flourishing. And I think a lot of credit to that flourishing is because we did go co-ed.
Absolutely, I'm proud of the decision. I think that the correctness of the decision has been validated in the lives of so many impressive young men and women.
They changed our place. They and the women faculty and the women administrators. It's a wonderful community. And it's a community, you know, that's a really good Jesuit college preparatory.